The movie Lilo and Stitch is a favorite Disney movie of mine, second only to The Emperor's New Groove. Anyhow, it's about a story of an alien named Stitch landing on Hawaii and is taken into a family of Lilo and Nani. Throughout the movie, he fights off invading aliens and can learn the power of family. That last one should concern you. Rolling in 3, 2... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those of you who know what the hell you are yet. Hopalong Pierre here, and in this video, we're looking at our favorite little alien abomination, Stitch. Now, if you're a poor soul and haven't seen the movie yet, go ahead and pause this video, because this video will cover plot points from the movie, TV show, but not the abominations that we don't talk about. Anyhow, go ahead and pause the video. We'll wait. Well, what'd you think? Enjoy yourself? Laugh? Get the warm fuzzies? Even shed a few manly tears? Don't worry, you're not alone there. Anyhow, now that you're back, let me go over briefly the list of movies, TV shows that we're going to be referencing. So, the original Lilo and Stitch, obviously. Stitch Has a Glitch, the TV show, and then the final movie, Leroy and Stitch. To be honest, all those aren't terrible. Check it out if you got nothing else to watch. So Lilo and Stitch is about the two titular characters becoming a family. Lilo, a little human girl, and Stitch, an illegal genetic experiment. Seems like a nice and happy story, doesn't it? Well, you're right in the short term. But in time, our favorite little abomination becomes an unstoppable force. So let's go ahead and look at our main characters really quick. Lilo is a normal little girl from Hawaii. No secrets there. In fact, what makes Lilo special is her optimism. Now, let's look at Stitch. I mean, this theory is about him after all, and he's far more interesting than Lilo. Now, Stitch has a slew of abilities. However, we will only focus on 3 of his abilities. First off, Stitch is shockproof, fireproof, bulletproof, and his dense molecular structure and advanced healing makes him a hard target to get rid of. Second is his intelligence. Stitch's brain contains 300 petabytes of information. Now, that number means absolutely nothing to you right now, so let me give you some sort of frame of reference. First of all, 1 petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. And neurologists have been trying to figure out how much information our brains can hold. And the highest recorded amount is 2.5 petabytes. And that would be from the smartest person on the planet. Now, with that info, you know that Stitch is over 100 times smarter than the smartest human. Then there's his last ability. Stitch is ageless. Now I hear you thinking, well, this is nice and all, but how can this be the base work for Stitch to revert to the monster of destruction? Well, let me begin my theory. Let's take a look at what Stitch really is. He is an illegal experiment genetically programmed and created by Jumba Jukiba. Now, Stitch is also referred to as Experiment 626, as in the 626th line in a genetic experiment, meaning Jumba had a lot of time to create and perfect little abominations. Case in point, how to properly design and implement Stitch's AI, the most important aspect of Stitch. Let's remember here that Stitch was created, not born, meaning Jumba had to design Stitch's AI to go with the body. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but making artificial intelligence, i.e. AI, is extremely difficult, and Jumba had a problem. In his earlier experiments, their AI changed because they had completed their purpose. We know this to be a problem because Jumba invented Experiment 624, whose ability is to, well, let's just say turn off all the things in your brain that make you want to be good. Alien tech is weird, dude. But Jumba also realized the flaw with his previous AI. It was that they were giving a purpose, a mission, or expected goals to achieve. Jumba knew what he had to do. He needed to develop a super AI, but with no goal or a greater purpose. So he went on to create his next experiment to have a destructive nature and to be pretty damn durable. Stitch's only weakness is his molecular structure is so thick and dense that he can't swim. Well, it's not like that can be used against him or anything, right? Wrong. And that specific weakness is what forces Stitch to change through extreme conditioning. Let's look at the first movie. In the beginning of the film, Jumba is on trial for making an illegal genetic experiment. He claims that he created a super being more intelligent than anything else. In fact, Stitch proves this. While being transported on a detainment ship, Stitch escapes. Unfortunately, he escapes to the one place in the universe where he is near powerless. Where he is going, Hawaii. Islands with lots of water, which turns into a force Stitch can't compete with. And so the AI in Stitch's mind had to learn to live with it. But there's a big problem. The AI has little to no knowledge of this alien planet or how things work. I mean, even look at the Earth specialist. He's clueless. Let's look at this from his view. He's on an alien environment, surrounded by pure death and nothing to fulfill his destructive nature. This is a worst case scenario, one Jumba didn't plan for. So while trying to avoid Jumba, who is now hunting him, he meets Lilo and becomes her pet. This act shows us something about Stitch's AI, because his true AI isn't just programmed to destroy, it's also programmed to survive, so he can learn to adapt to his environment. We see this in a few different ways, but there's an example that proves Stitch's AI reacts to new information and sets up a power change in Stitch's nature. And that's the power of the word Ohana. The first time Stitch comes across that word is when he's struggling against Nani. Once Lilo mentions the word Ohana, Nani stops. Again, think about this from Stitch's perspective. That simple word froze his adversary, meaning to Stitch that Ohana is some sort of force that surpasses anything he's experienced on this planet. Reminder again that Stitch's programming is useless given his surroundings, so he needed to find a way to live and survive. After seeing the power of Ohana, it's no wonder why Stitch changed. Jumba even points it out the best.
626 was designed to be a monster, but now there's nothing to destroy. I never gave him a greater purpose.
He didn't because he knew what would happen if he did. He'd become a stable experiment. Now I want to throw it out there because Stitch's survival instinct forced him into a change into his new environment. That doesn't mean his emotions were just some sort of adaptation. No, what he felt was pure and genuine. As for Stitch's survival rate after he becomes a part of Lilo's Ohana, that survival rate goes way up. Stitch even saw Ohana change the Galactic Federation's president's mind and overrule the initial decision and allowed Stitch to live on Earth. This brings me to my next point. I want to mention Stitch is nigh indestructible. However, there was a single time where Stitch's life was in danger and it didn't involve water. In the movie, Stitch has a glitch. We see Stitch start to have glitches that bring about flashbacks to his default programming, destructive. Lilo gets Stitch fixed up in the movie, and it's important to know that Stitch's destructive behavior, it's still there, and it's still functional. However, that doesn't matter at the moment. Now I hear what you think. Well, this is just proof that when Stitch has his family, everything is alright, and he's adorable. To which I say, you're right, 100% correct. Stitch is well behaved when he has his family, when being the operative word. Let's bring up Stitch's last trait that will seal the galaxy's fate. Experiment 626, Stitch is ageless, meaning that he'll never grow old, nor will he die to age-related illnesses. Throw in his nigh indestructibleness, and I can't see Stitch having any unfortunate events befall him at all. Well, I think you might be starting to see where I'm going, but in case you don't, let me explain. What befalls Stitch is tragic. Stitch will outlive everyone he loves. Sure, Stitch will stay on Earth with Lilo and everyone and live a happy family. However, time will take its toll on everyone, and eventually there will be a death in the family. My guess on who will go first is Jumba. The first loss Stitch has is of Jumba, the loss of his father. Sure, his family would be more than happy to be there for him, but Stitch notices something. They've grown older. Lilo has entered adulthood, Nani and David had probably started a family, and the other experiments have shown signs of aging. So with a string of losses throughout the years, Stitch starts to lose those close to him. Jumba, Nani, David, all of his cousins, and then the last and most tragic, Lilo. With the passing of Lilo, Stitch has no reason to stay on Earth and heads into space, crushed and miserable because of the loss of his Ohana. Ohana means family, and family means that no one gets left behind or forgotten. Well, to Stitch, that's an outright lie. His family is gone. Stitch was left behind, forgotten by time. He's all alone now. Real quick, I hear you guys say, oh, I'm sure Stitch will find another family. Well, sorry to point this out to you, but that's not going to happen. Stitch is an illegal genetic experiment. His very being is a crime. No law-abiding citizens would take him in. At that moment, however, Stitch's AI realizes something, that he's free and in space, not banished on Earth anymore, free to go wherever he wants to go. The survival instinct of adapting into a family to survive on Earth is no longer relevant to Stitch. Plus, we saw in Stitch Has a Glitch that his original nature is still there. Stitch had survived on Earth. The worst case scenario for him. All because he went into a family. With that gone now, he's back to being free. Jumba's masterpiece is finally free to destroy. But hey, that's just a theory. Wait, that's not my outro. So just really quick, I chose to omit the anime and the knockoff anime. Trust me, you don't need that in your life. So thank you everybody for watching. If you have anything you want to say, make some noise in the comments below, and thank you for staying weird.